Hello guys, welcome back to Parkour Civilization reaction. I did a reaction last time and it went pretty good, so I'm doing a second part. I'm calling it the pro level.
Parkour Pro. After I went through, I saw one more jump
This
that led
time
to some
G's not
barrels. What is
reacting
this
with
for?
me,
It's
by
for
the
food.
way.
You only have to pay one jump for 2 steak here.
Only a 1 block jump for food? That's amazing. I opened the barrel to see something that I've never seen before.
I completely
Cooked
forgot
meat?
to turn on
In all of these.
caption.
In my entire life living on the noob level, I've never seen a piece of cooked beef. And now, as a Parkour Pro, I could fully replenish my hunger bar. And that
bro,
meant I could sprint
if you never
now.
saw it, well
Oh,
now
man,
you
this is
do.
crazy.
Congratulations on becoming a Parkour
Sprinting
Pro.
isn't that
You
good,
can now
but
head up those steps and
he
begin your
was
life
quite
in
hungry.
Parkour Pro Civilization.
Those were the exact words I wanted to hear. This is it. When I walk up these steps, I will be at the top level of Parkour Civilization. When I walked into the
top
temple,
level,
I immediately saw massive
Wow,
statues.
so
These
you're in the
statues
sky.
looked like they were showing the
Nah,
Parkour
I'm
noobs
just
and the
kidding.
Parkour pros.
The sky
They even
doesn't
had
count,
their
I
boots
think.
on. This place is insane.
So
I've
I
never
guess
seen
1
anything
hour
like
just
this.
gonna be.
I mean, look at these statue. What
What
the? Gold
the?
boots? Who
Why
wears
is
gold
there
boots?
gold boots?
This
I thought
doesn't
pro is
make
the
any
highest.
sense.
No, 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 no,
What?
no, 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 no. Is that diamond boots? Okay, so clearly, I there was more of parkour civilization than I expected. I thought they were just like noobs and pros, because that's how most Minecraft is. So I'm guessing these two are like the. So I've watched those videos of like noob versus pro versus hacker versus king, I believe, or god. So I'm guessing these are the hackers, and this is the god Minecraft player.
What is this? Am I not at the top of Parkour Civilization?
Yeah, but
Hey,
clearly
parkour
you
delivery.
Let's go, my Parkour delivery is
Oh,
here.
finally,
Now that I'm a Parkour
they had
Pro, I can
delivery
get
services.
Parkour delivered
They can
to
get
my
Thai
house.
takeout.
Hey, did you order
Noodles,
parkour construction to this house?
Yes, sir, that's me. I ordered the 6-block tall slime jump to my bedroom.
Sounds good. Where do you want it built?
No,
Let's see.
no,
I
you're
think
meant
this
to
would be a
order
good place for it.
food.
You think you can build it right there?
Oh,
Okay,
sure. I
clearly
can make that
they
happen.
To
don't
think just a few
understand how
days
this
ago I was a
works.
parkour noob, and now I'm getting custom parkour jumps installed in my house is crazy.
This look good?
Yep, I think it's perfect. Hey,
I
thanks,
don't
man,
think
for parkouring all the way out here.
Parkour
Sure, you got
civilization
my
has the
payment?
same
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
in
for sure. It
delivery
was 4 1
IRL.
blocks in a row, right? Okay,
Pretty
1, 2,
sure, pretty sure IRL. You don't need to
3,
pay
4. There you go.
with
Thank you very much.
jumps,
And my tip?
Your
nor
tip?
Really?
do you
Don't tell me you
buy
thought you weren't gonna tip me.
parkour.
If you're a parkour pro, it's always expected that you tip when you buy something. Oh, I hope I make this. Oh, that was close.
Oh, wow. A 360? Yeah, you're good, man. Thanks.
That's
And like most things in Parkour
probably
Civilization,
a
the way
good
you
tip.
tip is with more parkour.
I have no
Luckily, I
idea
survived
how
that
much
payment for the jump
parkour
installed in my
is
house.
worth.
If I missed
Honestly,
any one of
it's
those
just
jumps, I
weird.
would have fallen back
It's a
down
weird
to the
payment
parkour
source.
noob level, and my journey to become a pro would have been for nothing. But I won't say it wasn't worth it because now I can practice
now
slime
they-
jumps anytime I want
now
inside
I
of my
feel
house.
just
And this
know
is how my new
it's-
life is as a
it's
pro
just
in
parkour.
Parkour Civilization. No parkour
I
noob at the
honestly
bottom
don't
level
know
knows what
which
life
is
is
better,
like up here.
the
Except I was
pros-
the only one to
the
rank up
pros
and become a
or the
part of
noobs?
parkour society. To rank up to a parkour pro, I had to be
But
the
I would
first
say
noob in
that
history
the
to
pros,
beat an
'cause
impossible
they
parkour
don't
course.
do
When I got
no
to the top,
work,
I got my iron boots and I
and
was
they
officially
also
a pro.
get better
I thought
food.
I had made it. I thought I was at the top of parkour civilization. But that's when I realized
Yeah,
I
but-
truly knew
buddy,
nothing
we
about the
just saw
world I was
this,
living in. My journey to getting to the top
Yeah,
of parkour
buddy, there's still
civilization wasn't even
hackers
close
and
to being
God.
done. Now, I was about to discover what life was like on the second layer of parkour civilization. At the parkour
Yeah,
pro
yeah,
level,
yeah.
everywhere you look is a 2-block jump. When I was a parkour noob,
Oh,
I thought
so
2-block
life's
jumps were
not better,
extremely
'cause now
hard.
you have
But
to
now
pay
that I could
more.
sprint, I realized they were almost like
Wow.
1-block jumps. Something about the pro level felt different. Maybe it was the fact that when I was a noob, I would see dirt in the sky, but now there's nothing above me. And that's when I looked back at the parkour temple. There was still a world above me, and now it was way higher up. But there was something else that was different. I was staring down at the house I used to live in. When I
Clearly,
was
this
down
is
on the noob
probably
level,
like
I
one of
would
those
look up and
infinite
all I would see is
things,
dirt. But somehow on the pro level, I could look down, and I could only assume that the same goes for the layer above me. Now that I was adjusted to my surroundings, it was time to go searching for a place to buy a house. That was assuming that life still worked like that up here. When I took a look around, all I saw were
Wait,
the same identical
happens when you
buildings.
don't-
Maybe this time I wouldn't be getting a
What
mansion,
happens if
but
definitely
that's
don't
when
buy
I
a
found a building
house.
that looked different, and it
Does that
definitely
make you
didn't look like a
homeless?
house. When I walked inside the building, sure
What
enough,
does?
it was a shop to buy a new
Wait a
house.
minute.
Hey, aren't you the noob who ranked up?
That
What
would be
are
me.
ice
Oh
cream
yeah, I
shops
thought it
like?
was you. I'm selling houses today. Choose one you want to buy.
Let's go. It's time to buy my first house as a parkour pro. Let's see what these prices are. I can get one house for a 2-block jump. Oh, that's super cheap. All right, what is this one over here? I can get one house for a 2.5 block jump. Okay, that's a little more expensive. And this last one is one house for a 3-block. Wait, why are these all the same? All of these options are for the same house.
Wait, this
Oops,
is no.
busted. I was trying to get a little more profit.
Why would anyone fall for that?
Nah,
Since there was
that's
only one house to
scamming,
buy, I
bro.
obviously went with the cheapest option and bought
That's
my
so
first house with a
scammy,
2-block jump.
Congrats on buying your first house as a parkour pro. Let me take you to it.
Let's go. Since all the houses were identical, it was no surprise that I got one that looked like this.
You're all set to move in. Feel free to call the
I
parkour
don't mean
delivery
to
service
judge,
if you
but
want your
that
jumps
house
changed.
A
doesn't
parkour
look that
delivery
good.
service? Let's go.
Kinda
Being a
looks ugly,
parkour pro
man.
is awesome. The living room in my house had 2 1-block jumps, and the entire house itself was 3 stories tall. Looks like 3 jumps to get to my bed on the top floor.
Hey, it's your neighbor. Can I come in?
Oh,
Hey, what's
sure.
Thanks.
Everybody
You're
get
that
out of
Evbo
here.
guy, right?
Yeah.
You're the
Guys,
noob who
anyways,
beat
I
the
just
course
wanted to
and
say
ranked
that
up.
I'm
Yeah, that's
globally
me. I'm
number
the
one
first
on
one to do it, I
Model
guess.
Co.
I can't
on
believe you're my
Play
neighbor.
Store.
That's
Download it and you'll
crazy.
see me
Well,
number
you
one.
probably have
What the
questions
hell
about
is
life up here,
that?
right? Anything you want to know?
Yeah, one actually. What happens when we fall? What is the punishment for missing a jump at the pro level?
You go down a level. If you miss a jump, you'll be a noob, and you'll have to beat the course again.
Okay, so I can never fall, noted. So who are the people above us then? What's above a pro?
It's probably best I just show you. Here, come with me.
My neighbor started telling me everything there was to know about parkour civilization. He brought me back to the parkour temple where all the statues were. He explained how parkour civilization starts at the noob level, and at level 2, you become a parkour pro. Then, there were the parkour masters. If you were lucky enough to rank up, you get gold boots and you become a master. My neighbor said that parkour masters never come down
G
to
just
the
kinda
pro
lied.
level, but if they do ever come down, it's a parkour pro's
He just told
nightmare.
me that.
He said
I
the
don't
parkour masters
actually
are ruthless.
number
And
one
then he
Bilbo.
walked over to the largest statue, the one with the diamond boots. He said that this was the parkour champion. He said that most people down
So
here don't
clearly,
even believe that
I
the champion
got
is real. But the
all
stories
of them
say there can
wrong.
only be one parkour champion.
I
Whoever
really
that
should've
was
thought
lives at the
better.
top of parkour civilization, which means if I was gonna make it to the top, I would have to become a parkour champion. My first day as a parkour pro was strange. For once, no one was at my door making me parkour for food. But then the question was, how do I get food now? Or what do I even do? I saw that there was another pro going somewhere, so I decided to follow him. Soon after, I saw another pro going in the same direction, which meant they were probably heading to something important. After jumping for a few
Let me
minutes,
guess.
I
It's
saw
probably-
what they were
it's
heading
probably
to.
gonna
They
be
were
stuff
all
like,
heading to this massive structure in the distance. When I got closer,
It's
I
probably
saw
gonna
that
be
there was
stuff
a
like,
bunch of parkour
here, take
pros
some money,
lined up
take
for
some money,
something. Whatever
money.
this place was, these parkour pros were willing to do 2-block vertical jumps to get here. Fortunately, I didn't fail any of these jumps
What
and I
is
made
so
it into
good
the
that
line. I must
could
have woken
risk
up
your
late
life
to whatever
and
this was
also
because I was the
pay
last
in
one
the
to show up.
parkour
At this point, I didn't
civilization.
know if that was a good
Pay
thing or a bad
people
thing,
for
but
it,
that's
'cause
when I saw what everyone was
parkour-
waiting in line for. There was a
Oh, it's a
dispenser at the
dispenser.
end of the structure. The pro in front of me picked up 2 items, but the only thing I saw them holding was a piece of paper. What could be so valuable
Oh,
about that
yeah,
piece
I
of
think
paper
it's
that
like,
people would wait in
do
line
this.
this long
It's
for?
probably like
When it was
work
my
or
turn, I
something.
clicked the button and I got
Oh,
a
it's
piece of
food.
steak. So this is how the parkour pros get food.
Oh, yeah, it's
Then
work.
I
See, it's
received
work.
the piece of paper. The paper said farm work
Nah,
equals
work
15
is
minutes.
bad,
And
dude.
this is when I realized how life was different on the pro level of parkour civilization.
Let me guess, so
Instead of parkouring
noobs
for food
basically
like the
just do
noobs
nothing,
the
and then
pros
they have to,
parkour
like,
for work. Just
do
like the
a
guy
lot
who
of stuff
sold me
just
my
to live.
house, the guards in parkour
Meanwhile,
prison,
pro,
or even
get
the
a
pros
job,
that fed me every day.
bro.
They were all just completing their daily tasks
Bro,
that they got
he
from
does
this
have
piece
a
of
job.
paper.
He's doing
And
a
now
job
for
right
my
now.
first daily
Don't
task,
insult
I
him.
was assigned to work on the farm. Before this, I had never seen an animal in parkour civilization, but this is the place they were all kept. This place was responsible for feeding all of the parkour pros and all of the parkour noobs. And it should be no surprise that in parkour civilization, even the animals had to do a parkour course. My daily task meant that I had to watch all of the animals that did the parkour course. Oh man, this job is terrible. Now I'm just gonna have to watch a cow fall off and die. Whoa, what the? Oh my god, this cow is cooking. How did he even
That's
do
a
that?
goated
The parkour
cow.
pros
It's a
only
goated-
eat the meat from the animals that complete the parkour course. They say it enhances your parkour abilities. As for the other animals that don't make the course, well, that's where the meat comes from on the noob level. And some noob's gonna have to eat that. Wow, I cannot not say I missed that. Parkour pros do their daily
So
tasks for a
that's how
reason.
the noobs
Once you've
get their
completed the task
food.
that you got
I
on your
thought
piece
it was
of
just
paper,
like a
you
machine
take
that
it to
just
the
made
training
it or
grounds.
something.
This place is basically the only reason parkour pros are incentivized to work. This is because this is the only place in parkour civilization where you can practice parkour without worrying about falling to the lower level. The entrance to the training grounds is blocked by a barrier, and the only way in is to
Well,
throw in your
that's
slip
a
of
really
paper
good thing.
once you've completed the
Now
work.
they
The
cannot
daily task I
die
completed
while
gave me 15
practicing.
minutes of practice time.
Or
That meant for the
something.
next 15 minutes, I could practice any parkour jump I could possibly think of. Here, you have the ability to build any parkour jump you want. But with this being my first day as a parkour pro, I
Oh
didn't
my
even know what
God.
I needed to practice. So I just decided to do the jumps that people left here. It seemed like a lot of the pros were practicing fence jumps, which are jumps I had little to no experience on. But what scared me
Fence
the
jumps
most
are a
is
bit
what I
hard, but
saw
not
over
that
here. Someone was practicing not one, but multiple 3-block vertical jumps. It almost seemed
I
impossible
don't
to
think
do even
3-block
one. But if someone was
vertical
practicing
jumps
these jumps, that
are
could only mean one
possible.
thing: that the way up to become a parkour master would be nearly impossible. If I was gonna have any shot at ranking up to become a master, I was gonna have to spend much more time in here practicing. Another beautiful day, and I don't have to wake up to either raw chicken or raw beef. Even though I've only been here for a few days, I feel like I haven't really enjoyed myself yet. I mean, for once in my life, I don't even have to go outside to parkour for food. I don't even have to grab my piece of steak. I'll still have full hunger for days. And now, instead
Yeah,
of being
bro.
bullied by all the parkour pros like I was down at the noob level, I can just do
Well, you
anything I
are
want
a
and no
parkour
one's here
pro,
to
so you
punish
don't
me.
get
Hey,
bullied.
you want to come with me to get our daily jobs? I don't want to be late.
Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna do my daily task. I think I'm just gonna chill today, honestly.
What? What do you mean you're gonna chill? You're not gonna get your daily tasks? Are you sure about that?
What? I mean, no one says we have to, so what's the problem?
I don't know. I just have never seen anyone not do their daily task.
Wow, maybe I'm teaching the parkour pros that they don't have to parkour all the time. But later that day, I realized I made a huge mistake.
Oh nah, he's probably
What in
cooked.
the world is that
He's probably
sound?
gonna get
Bro,
cooked
come
by
on, I was just trying to
the
sleep.
pros.
Who
The pros
keeps
are gonna
making
be
that
so bad,
horn
like,
noise?
Dude, hurry.
Bro.
You gotta get out here now.
You're so
Follow me
cooked.
and make sure you don't miss a jump.
Whoa, what's going on?
Maybe
Hey,
there's a
wait, for
pro
what? Wait, where are you
leader or
going?
something.
I started parkouring in the direction that my neighbor was going, and that's when I saw a bunch of
Yeah,
parkour
there's a pro
pros
committee
lined up,
thing,
standing
and then there's gonna be a
completely
pro
still. I had no
leader
clue what was
or
going on,
something.
but I followed my neighbor, and soon I got in line with all of the other parkour pros. No one was saying
Why is
anything.
there
Hey,
Sonic
can
in
anyone
front
tell
of
me what's
him?
going on?
Dude, don't say anything and look straight ahead.
Why? Can't someone just explain what's happening? But that's when it happened. Not too far ahead, someone dropped down from the sky. It was a parkour master.
One of you was supposed to design a new course, but someone didn't do
Oh,
their
that's a
task.
parkour
Who
master
was it?
thing.
Oh no, I'm done for. Why does this have to be me? I watched as the parkour master interrogated each and every one of the parkour pros, knowing that sooner or later he was gonna show up where I was.
You.
Yeah, you're gonna get
What
cooked.
was your task?
My task, I was selling houses to noobs on the bottom level.
Someone already did that task. Prepare for a parkour battle.
A parkour battle?
This is the only pure thing in this world.
Oh, come on.
This world goes much deeper than you imagine. You want to spread your fire.
You guys get a free
You need me.
ad, I guess. I didn't even skip this one.
The
I'll find
parkour
it.
battle starts now.
This is just great.
What is a
Why does my
parkour
first
battle?
parkour battle
Oh,
have
let
to
me
be
guess.
against
I
a
got
parkour
after
master?
this.
For my first
They're probably
attack,
one of them's
I'm
probably gonna have
attacking
to
you
get
with a
pissed.
3-block
Whoever
jump.
loses.
Okay, a 3-block jump, that's doable. I think I can survive this round. In parkour
Nah,
civilization,
he's gonna
it
mess
should
up,
be
he's
no
gonna mess
surprise that people fight each other with more parkour. If someone attacks you with a jump and you don't make it, you pay the price. Oh, this
Oh
isn't
no,
good.
no,
I'm already
that's
down
much
4
worse. I
hearts.
thought they were gonna prison. They're just
I'll
gonna
give
straight
you
up
an easy
die.
one, but I guess this is going to be over faster than I thought. Get ready for my next attack.
The worst part about parkour battles is you can't even attack your opponent until you defend one of their attacks. And by the looks of this next jump, I probably won't be attacking the parkour master at all.
Your turn. 4 blocks by 3 blocks diagonal jump.
Alright, here goes nothing. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Oh man, this is so far. How did he do this first try? I was hoping I would get lucky, but luck wasn't on my side. The second attack hit me, and I was down to 2 hearts.
Yeah, I don't even
This is
understand
too
what
fun
type
for
of
me.
jump
One
that
more
is.
attack, and you'll be gone forever.
The parkour master was right. If I failed to defend one more attack, it's game over for me. All I could hope for now is that the parkour master fails this last jump. That way, I could actually have a chance to attack. No way he makes this first try. Oh god, he made it.
This is it for you, Parkour Pro. A 3-block vertical
Well,
jump to
he's
decide your
screwed.
fate.
This was it. My entire
Evbo,
journey in
nice
parkour
knowing you.
civilization
I'm
came down
sorry.
to this one jump, and it was a 3-block vertical jump. I thought when I ranked up to become a parkour pro, my days of parkouring to survive were over, but I soon realized I knew nothing about parkour
Evbo,
society. Even as a pro,
now's a
I
good
wasn't
time
even
to have a
close to being at the top of parkour
flashback
civilization.
of your whole
The
life,
parkour pros
right,
were the
'cause you're about
workers
to
of
die,
society.
dude.
Every day, we would get a new daily job to complete, and I found out the hard way what happens if you skip your job, because the one day I didn't get my daily task, a parkour master came down and challenged me to a parkour battle. And now I have to do the hardest jump I've ever done in my life if I want to live. This was it. All my work to rank up to become a parkour pro was gonna be for nothing if I didn't make this jump, but at least I was gonna die trying. I took a deep breath, and I jumped. What? Is this real? I did it. I made a 3-block vertical jump.
You just bought yourself 5
Maybe
more
he's
minutes of
not
time, but we
screwed.
both know your fate. Get ready to attack me.
The parkour master was right. All I did was buy myself a little time. How was I gonna be able to do a jump that the parkour master couldn't do? And if I make it too easy, the parkour master will just get another chance to attack me. I got lucky last time, but I don't think I'd survive another attack from the parkour master. For my first attack, I built a 1-block jump, and I did a 360. Maybe, just maybe, there was a chance this would work.
Wow, a 360? I've never
I'm
done
pretty
that
sure
before,
a
but
master,
you did it.
a
It can't be
parkour
that hard.
master can
Let's
do
go.
this.
He's never done it before. I needed him to fail this jump.
What? How? Who even does
No fail.
360s? What is this?
That means
By some
this,
miracle, my
that
attack
Evbo
against
is
the
better
parkour master
than the
was
parkour
successful.
master.
I think I found his
The parkour
weakness. He
master is
couldn't
not
do a
screwed.
360. This was my chance. I just had to make sure that I kept making my jumps. For my next attack, I built a 2-block jump. I've never even made this jump before, but my entire life depended on it. I jumped, and I successfully made a 2-block jump with a 360.
This is ridiculous. How are you doing these
Pretty
jumps?
sure
I
the
watched as
parkour
the
master
parkour
is
master
quite
tried to
screwed,
defend
dude.
against my attack, but once again, the 360 was too difficult for him.
Yeah,
This can't be
bro
possible.
is
How are
not
you
that
beating
good.
me?
Now, both the parkour master and I were at 2 hearts. The next person to land an attack would win the parkour battle. Alright, you ready for a 3-block jump with a 360?
No, stop. I yield. You win the parkour battle.
What? Are you serious? No way. I actually
Okay,
won the
he's
parkour
not
battle.
screwed.
Somehow
No,
I beat
I
a
just wanted-
parkour
I just
master.
wanted-
Because you beat me, I have
It's
something
parkour
that can
master,
help you
just
rank
let me
up
die
to
a bit.
become a parkour master.
I could become a parkour master? The master said that the
Nice.
course to becoming a parkour
Wait,
master
so-
would be
wait a
impossible,
minute.
but he had something that could
That
help me
person
along the
become
way.
a
He
parkour
pulled out an
master?
item and threw it on the
Oh,
ground.
so that
I
means
went
it's
to
probably
pick it
gonna be
up,
like
and I
maybe
figured out
5,
that it was a totem
4,
of undying.
3 parts.
He said somewhere in the course there is a jump that I won't survive, and
First
I'll know
part's
it when
the
I see
noob,
it. He
second
told
part's
me
the
to
pro,
go attempt
third
the course
part's
to rank up
master.
and find this jump. He said to find
Fourth
any
part's the
information
champion,
about the
I
secret
guess?
to completing that jump, because if
Yeah,
I can
'cause
figure out
they're-
how to make
they're
the
full
jump,
classes.
I could rank up to
And
become a
if
parkour
Evbo-
master.
If this guy is the main character and he's become a pro, that means he's going to become a parkour master, meaning the second part's going to be done. And after that, the third part is going to be the parkour master. After the parkour master, it's probably going to be a parkour champion, as he's the main character. And that's going to be it.
This was insane. Earlier
Probably.
today, I didn't even know
I
parkour
don't
battles
really know.
existed. And somehow, I won my first battle. Not just against anyone, but a parkour master. And
Also,
now, I
tournament
actually have a
dying is
reason
really
to go
good.
back to the
Like, if
parkour
he fails
temple and
jump.
try to do the course to become a parkour master. I didn't like thinking about the fact that that wasn't the course to rank up. That was just the path to get up to the temple. But I wasn't going to make the journey up the temple just yet. Not only did I need food to get my health back, but I needed to do my daily task. I barely escaped with my life after missing 1 day of work, so I wasn't going to do that again. And today, my task was feed noobs. I realized after
Wait,
all
he
this time of
farmed.
being a parkour pro, I've
That
never
now he
made
has
my
to
way back
feed
down to the noob
noobs?
level yet. I wonder if anything's changed down there since I ranked up. If you're a pro in parkour civilization and you fall, you'll lose your rank and become a noob again. But you can still go down to the lower levels. level. There's just a different way. This is the first time I had been back to this part of the parkour temple since I ranked up, and now that I was a pro, I had access to a different doorway that I've never seen before.
that was
This new
not
path led to a
open.
giant staircase that would take me back down to the noob level. If I missed one of these jumps,
Wait a
I would
minute,
for sure
Evbo,
die, but
hold up the
fortunately,
totem,
one block jumps are
and then
too
jump
easy
down.
for me now that I'm a parkour pro. When I got to the bottom, I collected everything I needed in order for me to complete my daily task. It's crazy to think that I'm still the only one to have ever completed this course, but the barrier I used still should be there, so maybe someone else will. This is so strange. I once lived in this neighborhood. That was once my mansion, and now as a parkour pro, I can see what it really looks like from down here. When I lived here, I was the only one that lived in my neighborhood, or at least the only one left. So does anyone live here anymore? Hello? Anyone home? Okay, I guess not. Maybe someone bought my mansion? I don't know. Hello? Anyone here?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Oh, no way. Someone actually does live here. All right, time to set up the jumps. Let's see, 1 block jump for raw chicken, and then the 1 block vertical jump for raw beef. Man, I can't believe I'm actually doing this job now. All right, mandatory parkour check.
Oh, great. It's you.
You're
Wait
a
a minute.
parkour
No,
noob
that's the
now?
guy who
Weren't
did
you
like
just at
the.
my house? Yeah,
That's
you
the
delivered my
guy
parkour to me. So
who
what
delivered the
happened?
slime
What do you
box
think
thing.
happened, genius? You just paid me a huge tip, and I was so happy. And then I fell out the front door.
Hey man, well, you know, I ranked up, so you could too.
That
Alright, so now you have
was
to choose your
stupid.
jump.
You think I don't know what to do already?
That was
Just let me
very
jump for my
stupid.
food in peace.
Hey, I feel like I remember being in a
Oh.
situation that was just like this. You really think I could rank up to be a parkour pro?
Not a chance. You're a parkour noob. And you think you're so good now. Just wait till I rank up.
Oh, shoot.
When you have the perfect
He's
response
not
in your
screwed
head, but your
again. Oh,
fingers
come
just
on,
can't
not
keep up.
another ad.
We've all been there.
At least this time I
Typing
can script it.
Oh, man, that sucks. Dang, now he has to spend another 50 years in parkour prison. Oh well. After only finding 2 noobs to feed, I went back to the other neighborhood where I found the old man. It just seems so weird that he
Wait a minute,
disappeared
that's
out
the
of
wood
nowhere.
area.
I wanted to see if there's a chance that he came back, but when I got to the house, a parkour master walked out the front door. Luckily, I wasn't spotted. What was a parkour master doing all the way at the noob level?
Wait a
And
minute,
why
that's the
did he
same
come
guy
from
who,
this
like,
house?
gave the
When I
totem.
thought the coast was clear, I made my way over. This couldn't be a coincidence. This is the only house I've seen with a secret room, and now a parkour master shows up here? Does the master even know about the secret room? I went to go inside, but something was wrong. There was no secret
Clearly,
doorway.
it's
It was
been blocked
gone.
up, Evbo.
I was sure this was the
Do
right
you not
house.
know
That
what
parkour
blacked
master
up
must have
means?
came here to block up the entrance. I sat there thinking about why the parkour master would do that, but nothing made sense to me. But that didn't matter to me right now. Now that I finished my daily task, it was time to try the course to rank up to become a parkour master and find this impossible jump. I got back up to the pro level, dropped off my daily task paper, and got ready to climb the parkour temple. Now, I had one thing to worry about, and that was making this initial course to get into the temple. I wasn't worried about falling. I was worried about wasting my totem of undying. The parkour master said that I would not survive the impossible jump. So if I got to that jump with no totem of undying, then this entire journey would
Clearly,
be for
if
nothing.
you
I
didn't
scaled my
survive the
way up the
impossible
side
jump,
of the parkour
you wouldn't
temple
have the
until
totem,
I
buddy.
got to the very top.
Oh wait,
Most of the
that's
jumps
why he
were 2-block
didn't.
vertical
He
jumps,
didn't
but
lose the
towards
totem.
the end, I had to make this 3-block jump.
No,
Now, I
actually,
couldn't
I
afford to
didn't
make
think
any
about
mistakes.
that.
That's when I made the last jump, and I was inside the parkour temple. What's crazy is that none of those jumps were a part of the real course to rank up. This was the real course. Already, at first glance, I was seeing blocks I've never seen used in parkour
Why is
before,
there
but I was
trees?
expecting that. There's a reason why
I
almost
don't
no
think
pros
there's
even
such
attempt
thing
this
as
course, and that's
trees.
because it's so dangerous.
In
Fence jumps,
parkour.
trapdoor jumps, and ladder jumps.
God, what
the
the
jumps just
hell?
kept getting harder and harder the more I looked at
That's
it.
so
But I
many
wasn't here to
different
rank
types
up.
of
All I was here to
jumps.
do was find the
That's more
impossible
than how
jump that
many
the
I could
parkour
count.
master
I
told
can
me
only
about.
count, like,
If I find this jump
one,
and study it like he told me
two.
to, maybe I have an actual chance
What's
of
after
becoming
two?
a parkour master. I climbed to the top of the ladder, and now I was really at the start of the
just wanna
course.
know
Any
what's
fall
after
from this
two.
height would result in death.
I'm
And
gonna
of course, I have to do
say
fence jumps as the very first section.
totem.
I held out my totem of undying, and I climbed on the course to begin. Fence jumps were my worst nightmare, but
TV.
so far I've made 3 in a row.
Yeah.
But I soon realized that's all I needed to do, because I think I found the impossible jump. What is this jump? Is this a 4-block vertical fence jump? There's no way this is the right way, right? But there was
I don't
nowhere
think
else to
that's
go.
even
This was clearly
possible.
the right path, but this jump was... It had to be impossible. Well, the master gave me a totem for a reason. I attempted the jump, but got nowhere close to even making it. That was it. That was my one chance to use the Totem of Undying, and I'm just hoping that that was the jump he was talking about. Now, I had to study the jump, and I knew just the way to do that. Fortunately, it was my neighbor who was working as the parkour delivery service today. Hey, I need a jump built in my house. Follow me. I need to show you what it looks like. Alright, so for the jump I need built, it's kind of a little ways away.
Oh man, is the parkour jump all the way up there?
Yeah, it's fine. I'll tip you good. Just follow me. I brought my neighbor all the way up into the parkour temple and showed him the jump I wanted him to build. Since the jump was complicated, he placed down a block that copies every block on this jump. And after paying for his services, I now have this impossible parkour jump inside my own house. Now I can study this jump every single day. It turns out the jump was a 3-block vertical jump, but with the fences, it turns into a 4-block. It was actually impossible. So what was I missing here? I couldn't just practice this jump because parkour civilization laws state all jumps inside your home must have a risk of dying. So practicing wasn't gonna be my best option. This doesn't make any sense. I'll think about it tomorrow, I guess. I was gonna leave it, but that's when I slipped. No! For my entire life, I've been parkouring to survive. That's how any of us survive in parkour civilization. If you don't make the jumps,
Now
you
there's
pay
gonna be
the
a new
price. But no
protester.
matter how many people I've seen fall, that never stopped me from believing that I could parkour all the way to the top of society. I was the first noob to ever rank up to become a parkour pro. I beat a parkour master in my first parkour battle, and I even found the impossible jump that the parkour master told me to look for. The worst part is I was so close.
Well,
I actually
Evbo,
thought I could be a
you're the
champion one
first
day,
of
but one
many.
jump can change
You're
everything.
also the first person
I thought
to
I was dead until I
accidentally
wasn't. What?
slip.
How am I alive?
Oh,
My
and
journey
also
in
live.
parkour civilization should have
Oh
ended.
my.
I was supposed to
You
die
live.
there, but a barrier block caught
That's
my
another
fall.
thing you're
This
the first
barrier
of.
block had to have been placed by someone, right? Unless it wasn't. The guy who came to deliver parkour used a device that copied every single block from the impossible jump. That had to be it. The barrier was from the impossible jump. This is what the parkour master wanted me to find. It was the way to get past the
telling me.
impossible jump. And
They
now that
just
I
have
know
a
about it,
random
I can
barrier.
actually rank up to become a
that
parkour
you don't
master.
die.
This means I was gonna have to prepare. I couldn't believe
Why?
it. Just a few minutes ago,
Just
I was
let this
about to fall
person
down
die.
back to the noob level and become a parkour noob forever. And now I'm preparing to rank up again to become a parkour master. Alright, let's see what my daily task is today. Parkour course building. Okay, definitely cannot skip that. The last time I tried skipping my daily task, I was assigned parkour course building, and that resulted in a parkour master challenging me to a parkour battle where I barely survived, so I'm not gonna do that again. So far, this was the first time I've done a daily task that was located in parkour prison, and the only way to get there is by jumping in the void. Ever since I escaped this prison, I've never been back, and now I'm working here.
Oh, finally you're here. I thought you were never gonna show up. The parkour masters want another glass course made, and make sure you don't make the jumps too easy. There's only 2 noobs left in parkour prison, so I'll just grab one of them to do the course.
There's only 2 noobs left in parkour prison? I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad
Clearly,
thing.
there's
In parkour
been
civilization,
a
the
lot
parkour pros are
that's been
responsible
going
for
on.
building new parkour courses for the parkour masters. And since the pros would never want to try these courses on their own, the prisoners of parkour prison are used instead. No way, it's you again!
Oh,
And you
it's
think you're
this
so
guy
good
again.
now. Just wait till I rank up.
Oh, shoot! I'm sorry, man, but you gotta be the one to do random parkour testing today.
Why can't you pick the
Okay,
old guy?
this guy
He's like
just
100
looks
years old.
Look,
like a
man, I don't make the
Kevin.
rules.
I'm
You just gotta
telling you.
do the course.
In my
This is
mind,
too easy.
I'm just
I'm
thinking
making it out of
this
here.
guy is
No, no,
Kevin.
oh no, he's gone for real this time. Alright, daily task completed, one step closer to becoming a parkour master.
May you save us all, Evbo.
Oh, it's the
After a
old
few
man.
more days of completing more daily
It's that
tasks, I
old
was getting
guy.
closer to attempting the course to
So
rank up to
that's
become
what
a
I
master.
thought you just
I had
died,
been planning
dude.
this out carefully. I wasn't just gonna go into the hardest parkour course of my life unprepared. I had saved 4 of my daily task papers to take to the parkour training grounds. As a parkour
That's
pro,
60
each daily
minutes,
task you complete
bro.
gives you 15 minutes of practice time. Since I saved up, I have now 1 hour to practice as much parkour as I could. This would probably be one of the last times I could parkour without
That's
worrying
a
about
lot
dying.
of
Because once I
parkour,
step
buddy.
foot into the parkour
Did
temple
you
to
have a
become a
high
master,
school?
there would be no turning back.
No?
All
No
of this
life
preparation is
parkour? Okay,
relying
you're
on the
no
fact
life.
that there actually is a secret path to get past the impossible jump. But I've come too far and I've been through too much to give up now. I have to believe there's a way to rank up. I tried practicing every jump that I remembered from the parkour temple. Most of the jumps I saw were either fences, trapdoors, or ladders, and I used my entire time in the training grounds practicing those jumps. By the end of the hour, I felt like I had unlocked parkour abilities I've never had before. I was speedrunning through fence jumps and trapdoor jumps easily. 3-block jumps weren't even a challenge for me by the end of my training, and that's how I knew that it was time to head to the parkour temple and do the course to become a parkour master.
Yes, sir. He's heading to the parkour temple now. Don't worry, sir. I have something planned. I can promise you he's not making it out alive.
This was it. It was time to start the journey up
It's
the
the
parkour
guy
temple.
who's
The
top.
last time I made this
I don't
climb,
know what
I
the
had a totem of
lore
undying for a
is
second
in,
chance. But this time around, there would be no second chances.
but I
This
guess
was
I
my
can
last
learn.
and only run. If I don't make every single one of these jumps in the parkour course, this would be the last view I ever have of parkour civilization. But that's how parkour life is. You either rise or you fall. You can never stay in the same place. And I had decided that I was going to be the one to rise. I got to the top of the ladder, and it was time to start the parkour course. Any fall from this height would be the death of me. But the fence jumps weren't what I was worried about. It was this, the impossible jump. This is when I find out if the secret path is real or not. I studied where the barrier block was in my house. If I wanted to land on the barrier, I would have to walk off the fence. If I jumped, I would miss the block. And that's assuming it was even there. But there's only one way to find out. I walked off the ledge, and I was alive. Was here. The secret path was real. Now I knew it was possible. It was possible to become a parkour master.
thing
I
is, you
looked
just
around
stuck
for where to go
there
next,
until
and I
you-
saw
oh.
the outline of a barrier 3
Oh no, there's
blocks
another
to my
barrier.
left, and I saw the staircase of barriers that would lead up back onto the
It's
parkour
just a
course. I've never done
staircase.
invisible parkour before, but there's a first time for everything. I made the 3-block jump, and I was on the secret path. I didn't understand. Did someone make the secret path, or was the course designed like this from the beginning? Either way, however the secret path got there, it got me back on the course. And now I was gonna have to make every jump first try. Thankfully, I got past the fence section, but now I was on the trapdoors. Trapdoors were only a quarter of the size of a regular block, meaning if I missed the jump by even a little, it would be game over. This next jump was a 3-block diagonal jump. I didn't practice this jump, but I made it. I had made it past the trapdoors, but now I was on the regular doors. I had almost no experience with door jumps, but I knew I had to be careful. If I wasn't paying attention and I opened one of the doors the wrong way, I could get knocked off, and there would be no totem of undying to save me this time. The jumps kept getting harder and harder, and each jump I felt like I was barely hanging on the edge. But it didn't matter, as long as I was staying on the course. One by one, I kept making the jumps, and I was getting higher and higher off the ground. The last door jump was a 3.5-block jump. It was far, but it wasn't going to be the jump that stopped me from ranking up. I didn't like thinking about the fact that this course had no room for error. When I ranked up before, at least the course had blocks to potentially break my fall, but
This
here
is like
there
the
was
second
nothing that
level,
could save
bro.
me. Luckily,
If
I
it
made
had
it past
room
the
for
door
error,
section, and now I
then
was onto the
everyone
ladder section.
in-
Everything was
in
going smoothly
parkour
until I found something I've never seen
master
before.
area
Is this jump even
would be
possible? This is
Dumzos.
a 2-block vertical jump. I've never seen this jump before, but I figured it had to be possible. I went for it, and I made it. And that's when I saw one of the hardest jumps I've ever seen. Oh no, this could be the end of me. Come on, please hang on. Oh, that was too close. I was inches
he
away
coulda
from
died.
slipping off the ladder, but by some
lived.
miracle, I was still on the course. Now, I was parkouring on
Also,
fully grown trees.
these
I
are
didn't
tree
even know trees
jumps.
still
Now I
existed in
understand
parkour
how
civilization,
trees
but
are
I
there.
didn't have time to focus on
Yeah.
that right now. I was looking at
Evbo,
the
neither
last
did
jumps,
I.
and I realized
Neither did
I
I
was
know
almost
they-
at the top.
I didn't even know
I
they
was actually
existed
gonna
in
do it.
parkour
Alright, where do I jump to now? What is going on? What is... Wait, no! I was too late to
He's
realize.
dead,
I
dude.
opened my eyes and I was still on the tree with 2 hearts left. What happened? Was that a part of the course?
That is impressive. I thought the TNT would do the trick, but you just want to stay alive.
What the... Who are you? What are you doing here? I'm so confused. What is going on?
Oh, please don't tell me you thought you were gonna rank up. You were a noob. You don't belong up there. You could never be a parkour master. You belong at the bottom level. You were a noob. You were born to be one, and you'll always be one. And now I gotta finish
Pretty
the
sure
job.
this guy
Prepare for a
doesn't
parkour
like
battle.
Oh
noobs
god, a parkour
ranking
battle is
up.
not what I need right
Or
now.
anyone
I only
ranking
have
up.
2 hearts left. That
I
means
think
if
this
I fail
guy
to defend
likes
any
the
parkour
system.
attack, that will be the end of me. And to think I actually had a chance of ranking up.
Say goodbye to parkour civilization. The battle starts now. I attack you with a 2-block diagonal vertical jump.
Whoever this was severely underestimated me. I've beaten a master in a parkour battle, and I sure wasn't gonna get out to a jump like that.
There's no point in fighting back. Your fate
Just
is
punch him
inevitable.
off, bro.
I didn't listen to the parkour pro. I knew that as long as I could parkour, I was still in this. Now, I couldn't afford to play it safe. I needed an attack that would finish him once and for all, and that meant doing a jump I've never done before. Come on, please make it. I did it.
No. What
A
was that?
backward.
What was that jump?
Well, that would be a 2-block downwards backwards jump. Wait, sorry, I messed up. It's actually a 2-block downwards backwards diagonal jump. This was it. The pro lined up at the edge of the block and jumped backwards.
Come on, please. No.
I did it. I won the parkour
And
battle.
bro
But
died.
against who? That was just a parkour pro. Why was
Or
another pro
someone,
trying to
a
attack me?
parkour
And
pro
why did they not
who
want me to
didn't like
rank
the
up?
system,
What was
who
all
didn't
that stuff
like
he
you
was saying
breaking the
about how
system
I
up,
was
bro?
born to be at the bottom? There was too much to think about, but I had to set that aside because now I still had to worry about surviving the parkour course. And not even just the parkour jumps. Who knows if there are more traps waiting for me ahead? I took a look at the rest of the course. I could see the final stretch of jumps.
एक महल टाइप सेट, चमकदार लाइटें,
Come
शादी
on.
ब्याह का माहौल, ये ऐड वैसा भी हो सकता था। मैं
What is
शर्मा
this
के
language? I
And
don't
all I had to do
understand.
now was a
Why are you
slime
giving me
block
random
jump.
language
Let's go.
ads?
All the days I was using my custom slime block jump to get to my bed were just practice for this moment. I jumped and I made it. Now I was standing on one of the final jumps of the course and I could see the doorway up ahead. And now were the 3-block vertical jumps. But I've been practicing for this moment. I used my momentum to do all 5 jumps in a row. In less than 10 jumps, I would be a parkour master. Now I was at a
Chain
tricky part.
jumps.
I've
I'm not
never
sure
even
how
seen chain
hard
jumps
chain
before.
jumps
But
are.
compared to surviving a surprise attack and parkour battle, it was nothing to me anymore. I made the final chain jump and I was 1 jump away from becoming a parkour master. This was it. This was what everything was leading up to. The old man that helped me, the parkour master that gave me the totem, they all wanted me to make it to this point, and I wasn't gonna let them down.
If
I
you're
jumped,
gonna
and
fail this,
made
I
it.
swear.
I did it. I actually did it. I turned around and looked at how high I was off the ground. I had beaten the course that no pro even attempts to do.
Remember,
And now I'm
Evbo,
about to rank
just
up.
don't
Once I step
press
through these
the
doors, I
W
will no
button
longer
when
be a
you're
parkour
facing that
pro.
way.
I will be a parkour master. The door opened, revealing an entirely different room. All of the walls were made up of quartz. What was society even gonna look like up here? I couldn't describe it, but everything was so perfect compared to the layers down below. I looked over and I saw a lava parkour jump with dispensers in the middle. Oh, I know what this is. This would hopefully be the last time I ever have to wear pro boots again. I took off my boots and threw them in the lava. And now I just gotta make sure I don't fail this jump. I jumped through the dispensers and I was equipped with golden boots. I was now officially a parkour master.
And now, that's the end of part 2. As you know, I'm doing different parts. Well, he just got rid of better boots. Gold boots are worse than iron. Anyways, I guess this is the end of the video. Goodbye and see you in the next one.